Now on Fast Track News, what is housing looking like for next year? And are students having more luck?
Plus, some of the campus construction will be opening back up soon. We'll tell you where and when.
And how 2 Purdue students are in the running for $1 million prize. All your campus news, weather, and sports is straight ahead. Fast Track is back.
Happy Friday, Boilermakers. I'm Lydia Deniston.
And I'm Shri Balasubramanian. It's October 10th. Here's a look at your campus news for the week. First, the housing crisis has affected students drastically in the past few years. We went out and got the thoughts on pricing and the availability of housing for the coming year. Reporter Sophie McLaughlin has a story.
Is Purdue's housing crisis over? I'm Sophie McLaughlin, reporting from Memorial Mall, where I caught up with students on how they feel about on and off campus housing in terms of ease of application and cost. I first started off by asking if cost is a factor when they were deciding between on and off campus housing.
I think generally it is a pretty big factor. I know, at least for me, it's a pretty big factor, at least for my parents, because living on campus is comparatively a lot cheaper.
Then, I asked about the application process and how he feels about finding out whether he received a spot in Purdue's lottery for on-campus housing for returning students.
I think the process was pretty easy. I am a little bit 50-50 on what will happen if I don't get the housing, because I'm not really sure how I feel about living in an apartment next year for the first time.
I then asked how students feel about trying to navigate finding housing while in school.
I know a lot of my friends that aren't already in housing that has a 2-year contract have been having a really hard time finding affordable housing for the next year.
Students can reach out to the Office of Off-Campus Housing for help finding an apartment. Reporting from Memorial Mall, I'm Sophie McLaughlin.
The weather is finally starting to cool down, and it actually feels a bit more like fall now.
Absolutely. Meteorologist Marissa Delgado is here with the first look at the forecast.
Hello Boilermakers and happy Friday. I'm Marissa Delgado here with your weather for the day. So today we have partly cloudy skies and a high of 70 with a low of 50 degrees. Following this cool temperatures, looking at our hourly forecast, at 12 a.m. we had clear skies with a high of 45 degrees, and at 6 a.m. this is when our temperatures cooled down way low with those cloudy skies. We had an increase in our cloud coverage to almost 30%, which then dropped our temperatures down to 35. And then at noon, the clouds are going to disappear a little bit, bringing in some of the sun and increasing our temperatures to a nice 59 degrees. So then at 6 p.m. we're going to get our high of the day of 70 with sunny skies. But then at 11 p.m. those clouds are going to come back and drop our temperatures back down into the 56.
The Center for C-SPAN has an opportunity open for students with the chance to win up to $600. It is the Political Science 5-Minute Challenge. To be eligible, you have to be a political science major or minor or be enrolled in a political science class in the spring, summer, or fall of 2025. The challenge is to research a communication topic of your choice and give a 5-minute presentation in front of a panel or political science department judges.
It was a busy week for career fairs. The College of Agriculture had its fall career fair at the CoRec on Tuesday. It was attended by over 250 organizations from several different sectors of the agriculture industry. The Civil and Construction Engineering Career Fair was also at the CoRec and took place on Thursday. We spoke to a student to see what opportunities were available.
I talked to a lot of sort of construction companies with roadway design, and I found it was very engaging and interesting. There's a lot to learn.
The next upcoming career fair is for the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management and will take place on October 21st.
Construction on the courtyard between the Purdue Memorial Union and Stewart Center continues, but should be wrapping up soon. The space went under construction back in May of this year and is to be finished this November. This project will eliminate active leaks to the courtyard substructure. Additionally, this project includes reconstruction to the east entrance of Stewart Center to meet Americans with Disabilities Act standards, giving Stewart Center an additional ADA accessible entrance to Stewart Center.
Up next, how a Purdue alum and graduate student has earned the opportunity to win a lot of cash for their invention.
And still to come, how you can save a life while donating blood and celebrate the upcoming holiday at the same time.
I love U Choir because it's what gave me a home on campus. I didn't know anyone, but nowhere made me feel as welcomed and loved as the moment I walked into this room and stood on those risers.
Hi, I'm Vina, a keyboard.
Hi, this is Dean, the guitarist.
Hi, I'm Box. I play bass guitar.
A Purdue University alumna and a graduate student have been recognized for their new invention. Morgan Coughlin and Ronit Desari are finalists in the Collegiate Inventors Competition. The two of them created an augmented laparoscopic grasper. This device has sensors and microcomputers to inform surgeons of how much pressure is being applied to tissue during surgery. This device can also lead to better results for patient recovery time. Both Coughlin and Desari are in the running for the prize, winning $1 million. The winning teams will be announced October 16th.
Purdue Student Government announced that this October, right in time for Halloween, they'll be partnering with the University Blood Initiative and Versity for a spooky season blood drive. 2 have already happened this week, but there are plenty more opportunities coming soon. The next drives are the 16th in the Co-Rec Feature Gym, the 28th and the 9th in the Croc Lobby, and the 30th again at the Co-Rec Feature Gym. All donors receive a free shirt, and you can scan the QR codes on the screen and learn more and sign up.
Coming up, there's a slight chance for possible rain this week. When should you expect it though? Plus, looking at our weekend planner, we're going to have this cool fall weather just in time for fall break. We're going to have our highs in the 70s all weekend long and lows in the 50s. So make sure if you're going home or going outside this weekend that you make sure you take a sweater or a hoodie or something to stay warm in these cool temps.
I love contact improv because it gives me a space to come in and reset my mental capacity. Like I always leave, like even though I'm tired, mentally I feel much freer.
I love contact improv because A, I get to meet new people, and B, it makes you feel so good after.
Looking at the weekend forecast, it's going to be a chilly start to our fall break. Starting today, we're getting a high of 70 degrees and a low of 50. And then on Saturday, it's going to cool down a little bit more with a high of 69 and a low of 44. Then on Sunday, we're staying in these chill fall weathers with a high of only 71 and a low in 50. And speaking of fall break, I know that these midterms have been tough, and so I wanted to remind everyone to take this break to relax and take a well-deserved rest. Go spend time with your family and friends, and also with these perfect fall temps, it's the perfect time to go enjoy all of the fall festivities happening around town too. Just make sure that you take a sweater if you do go though, because looking at our 7-day forecast, as you can see, we're staying in these chill 70 temperatures all weekend long. The clouds are going to stay with us as well, keeping those cool temps. So as I've already said, the weekend staying in the upper 70s and lower 50s. Then moving on to the week, for Monday we have some sun with mostly sunny skies, a high of 74 and a low of 52. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday is where we saw on that radar that slight chance of possible rain, though it is very unlikely we will actually get any rainfall. If anything, it may just be some overnight showers. But on Tuesday we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 75 and a low of 52. Then on Wednesday we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 76 and a low of 47. And Thursday, continuing with the cloudy skies once more, a high of 74 and a low of 48. So once again, for the fall break, if you're doing anything outside or inside, make sure that you take a sweater or a hoodie or a jacket and you stay warm during this break. We want everybody to come back well rejuvenated rather than everybody coming back sick with all of these changing weathers.
Just ahead, one of our reporters has some exclusive interviews from the Golden Boot game. I'm Travis Spoelstra.
And I'm Quinn Lennon. Don't go away, sports is next.
This past Saturday, the Boilermaker football team faced another challenge in Ross-Ade Stadium when the 22nd ranked University of Illinois traveled to West Lafayette. Purdue started strong with a 10-play, 62-yard drive that ended in a rushing touchdown from Ryan Brown on a bobbled snap for the only score in the first quarter. However, that would not last as Illinois proceeded to score a combined 40 points over the second and third quarters to Purdue's 14. Brown still finished with a high-volume day, with 300 air yards and 2 total touchdowns. Devin Maccabee was also efficient, averaging 5.8 yards per carry, but the real star of the rushing attack was sophomore Antonio Harris, who broke free for a 40-yard touchdown halfway through the third quarter. The final score was Purdue 27, Illinois 43.
Purdue's women's volleyball was living it up in sunny Los Angeles last week, and the only thing that can make the trip even better, back-to-back wins against UCLA and USC. Their first win came from an inspirational comeback against UCLA. After being down 2-0 against the Bruins, the Boilermakers pulled off the impossible and won 3 sets in a row to complete the reverse sweep. Winning 3 consecutive sets seems to be nothing for this team, however, because their second win was also a clean sweep for USC, and this time no comeback was needed. This puts them at 12-2 overall for the season, still maintaining a perfect away and neutral site record. And if that wasn't enough, just this Wednesday, it was announced that not 1, not 2, but 3 of their players are ranked in the top 2 in the Big Ten for total kills, assists, and digs. At the time of this taping, they have not yet played their Thursday game against Ohio State, which will be in Columbus, Ohio. We wish them the best of luck for that matchup.
And Quinn, with the way they're playing, I'd say they don't need us to wish them luck.
You know, that's very true right there, Travis.
Purdue softball traveled to Oxford, Ohio last Sunday to take on the Red Hawks of Miami, Ohio. The Boilers continued their winning ways in fall games, moving to 4-0 after a pair of wins on Sunday. In the first game at 1 p.m., Purdue won by a score of 9-7, and in the second game, the Boilers completed the Sunday sweep by a score of 6-3. These wins give Purdue a 3-0 record in the 2025 calendar year against Miami, Ohio, after beating them 2-0 back in April.
Purdue cross country is coming off a strong showing at the Joe Piani Notre Dame Invitational. For the men's team, senior Douglas Buckeridge led the way with a personal best 23:10 in the 8K, finishing 13th overall. Nathan Walker followed close behind at 14th, helping the Boilermakers place 4th out of 18 teams, ahead of rivals Illinois and Iowa. Buckeridge was also named Big Ten Men's Athlete of the Week, the first honor of his career. For the women's team, Lauren Pegger led Purdue in the 5K with a time of 17:39. Sophia Munoz and Julia Ekonomu also finished strong, both setting new personal bests. Purdue will now head to their Missouri for the pre-national invite on October 18th.
Our men's golf team traveled to South Bend on October 6th and 7th to play in the Fighting Irish Classic. After day 1, Purdue was sitting in 6th place out of 15th through 36 holes. The first day of the event, Andre Zhu had a special round, making a hole-in-one on the 184-yard par 3 at hole 4 on Warren Golf Course. After day 2, the Boilermakers placed 5th, shooting 9 over as a team. Kentaro Nanayama and Supapan Amarchechan both tied for 12th, each shooting 1 over 3 through 3 rounds. Jensen Forrester tied for 23rd place, shooting 4 over. Up next on October 13th and 14th, our men's golf team will be playing in our very own Purdue Fall Invitational right here in West Lafayette.
Get ready for some spooky fun at Purdue's Baseball Halloween Bash. The team will be hosting the event on Tuesday, October 29th at 6 p.m. at Alexander Field for a special 2-inning costume scrimmage. After the game, kids can run onto the field for trick-or-treating with players handing out candy. Everyone who attends will receive a voucher for 1 free ticket to a 2025 home game. Costumes are encouraged, so bring your best Halloween spirit. The event is also free and open to all ages.
Purdue Wrestling is continuing to reveal their all-quarter-century wrestling team, this time with the 184-pound weight class. Starting off is Ben Whistle, who wrestled from 01 to 06 and is a 2-time All-American, and who is up there with only 18 other wrestlers at the 100-win mark. Next is Max Lyon, who wrestled from 2017 until 2022. He was a 4-time NCAA qualifier who had an 87-68 record. After is AJ Kissel, who is another 4-time NCAA qualifier from this class. He wrestled from 07 until 2012. And finally is Braden Atwood, who was a 4-time Big Ten Championships place winner and NCAA qualifier who wrestled from 2010 till 2015.
Up next, the Golden Boot soccer game against rivals Indiana. We have reporter Michelle Guardayama with the story.
Reporting for Fast Track News, this is Michelle Guardayama, and today I'm here at Folk Field, just moments away from the Purdue IU game, where they're fighting for the Golden Boot.
It's rivalry week in West Lafayette as Purdue Boilermakers go up against Indiana Hoosiers to compete for the infamous Golden Boot, a traveling trophy introduced in the 2002 season to commemorate the age-old rivalry against the two universities. After each victory, the winner takes the trophy home and adds a letter to the chain attached to the golden-dipped soccer cleat. Each letter added is also engraved with the date and score of the match. Indiana last took the trophy in 2023 with a 1-0 win over Purdue, while last year's matchup ended in a scoreless draw. This year, Hoosiers took the boot back home to Bloomington as the game ended in a historic consecutive scoreless draw. By rule, Indiana continues to hold the boot after this year's competition. We spoke to some players to talk about what this game meant to them.
We knew it was a top game, so we just tried to put everything that we have in the field, tried just to keep them in their half and try to score as many as possible, but we didn't have the chance. But I'm still proud of the team, so we just have to keep going. Para mí es un clásico. Para mí es un derby. Y creo que tuvimos intensos el primer tiempo. I think we were intense the first half. Pero en el segundo tiempo estuvimos muchísimo mejor, muchas chances de in the second half we have more chances to score, and we're just trying to make it work, but it didn't, so it's fine, we just have to keep going.
Purdue ended with 13 total shots and 3 saves from goalie Emily Edwards. Reporting for Fast Track News, this is Michelle Guadarrama.
Due to fall break being next week and Fast Track covering the upcoming homecoming parade, we will unfortunately not have a show for the next 2 weeks.
With that being said, we are now going to go over what is to come for the next 2 weeks for sports. For football, Purdue will have 2 consecutive away games, playing at Minnesota tomorrow at 7:30 p.m., and then they will travel to Northwestern and play on the 18th at 3 p.m. Volleyball will also have a home game this weekend on October 12th against Nebraska at 1 p.m. Then they will have 3 consecutive away games. The first will be against our rivals Indiana in Bloomington on October 16th at 7 p.m. Then they will travel to Rutgers and play on the 19th at 1 p.m. Finally, they will play at Illinois on the 24th at 8 p.m. to round out this away stretch. Softball will have their next home game against Rock Valley on October 19th at 1 p.m. Baseball will also have a home game the week before, facing off against Dayton on October 11th at 1 p.m.
For cross country, the Purdue team will be traveling to Missouri, where they will be competing in the Pre-National Invitational on October 18th at 11 a.m. In men's golf, Purdue will be hosting the Fall Invitational on October 13th and 14th. In women's golf, they will be traveling to North Carolina to compete in the Ruth's Chris Tar Heel Invitational from October 17th to October 19th. In wrestling, Purdue will be hosting a home scrimmage wrestle-off on October 18th at 1 p.m. where they will show off the new team members for the upcoming season. And finally, in soccer, Purdue will be traveling to play this weekend at Illinois on October 12th at 2 p.m. Then, the team will be hosting 2 home games. The first will be against Penn State on October 16th at 7 p.m. The next one will be against Northwestern on October 19th at 6 p.m.
That's all for sports, and as a reminder, make sure to check us out at the upcoming homecoming parade on October 24th.
We'll be back with more sports on Halloween, but for now, Fast Track is going to take a quick time out.
The student section for Purdue women's basketball. Be there.
Now it's time for our question of the week.
We asked students what their fall break plans are. Here's what they told us.
I'm just going home. I'm excited to see my family again. We're going to go up and see a live recording of a podcast, which is going to be really fun.
I'm actually staying here. So I'm from Boston, so it's not really worth it to fly back. So I'm just going to chill, relax.
I'm going home to see my family. I don't know how to describe it. It's more like a podcast where everyone comes together and just tells stories about their life, and they're all the finalists for like an essay competition that was during the podcast.
Yeah, hopefully I'll play some sand volleyball with a couple other friends who are staying from Boston, so looking forward to that, yeah.
It's my cousin's birthday, so we're going to do a party. It's her second birthday.
That's all for Fast Track this week. Join us again on the 24th for a live broadcast of the homecoming parade.
And on the 30th for our next show with your local campus news, sports, and weather.